I'm saying a prayer now. Now I feel sick.
The Signature Dish Challenge has been a cornerstone of Hell's Kitchen since the very beginning. It's the first test every chef faces. 45 minutes to cook anything they want, showcasing their personal style and culinary skills to Gordon Ramsay. This challenge sets the tone for the entire season, giving Ramsay his first glimpse into each chef's abilities, creativity, and decision-making under pressure. For many contestants, it's their chance to make a strong first impression. For others, it becomes the moment their Hell's Kitchen dreams begin to crumble. Over 23 seasons, this challenge has produced some of the most memorable disasters in reality TV history. We begin with Season 1, the 2005 premiere that introduced American audiences to Gordon Ramsay. The format was straightforward. All 12 chefs cooked individually with no teams, and Ramsay tasted each dish one by one. There were no winners or losers declared. He was simply gauging everyone's skills. What followed would establish Hell's Kitchen's reputation for culinary carnage. Right out of the gate, Andrew served what he proudly called Andrew's absolute penne. He boasted that he had 10 years of kitchen experience. But his pasta dish was so dreadful that Ramsay spat it out and delivered the now iconic line.
That is absolute dog shit. And how long have you been cooking?
About 10 years.
What a waste of 10 years.
When Ralph proudly presented his seared tuna with sesame noodles, boasting he was #1 at his restaurant, Ramsay didn't miss a beat. He called the tuna terrible and cut him down to size.
You're the #1.
Yeah.
With that shit.
Jimmy served up a pan-seared chicken breast, stuffed with portobello mushroom and goat cheese, plated over pumpkin mash with carrot tops. Ramsay gagged at the sight.
It looks like a dehydrated camel's turd.
Yes, sir.
What's all that?
The chicken was burnt outside and raw inside, and Gordon refused to swallow the bitter carrot greens, flinging them back at Jimmy. The dining room of contestants stood in stunned silence as Ramsay spat the chicken into the trash. Jessica's spicy Cajun soft-shell crabs nearly blew Ramsay's head off. His face went red after one bite, and he chugged a bottle of water.
It's burning my mouth off. The spices are far too bloody hot. Back in line.
The rest of the competitors couldn't help smirking as the famously iron-tongued chef had his mouth set ablaze. Michael presented seared scallops, which he had unfortunately failed to clean properly before he cooked them, leaving the roe in place. Gordon made Michael eat the dish with him, then shared his opinion of the creation.
Let me tell you something.
Yes, sir.
You've got a palate like a cow's backside.
Yes, sir.
That is disgusting.
Michael's face fell as red as the lobster he should have cooked. But not for too long. In the end, Ramsay shook his head at the group's disappointing performance.
There's very little promise here. Very little promise.
Though most of the food had been terrible, the very first Signature Dish Challenge had given Gordon an insight into the chefs he was mentoring, so it became a staple of every season. Season 2 maintained the same individual format, with Ramsay tasting 12 dishes solo before forming the red and blue teams. This season established the norm of dividing teams by gender from day one, and delivered some truly unforgettable disasters. The first dish uncovered was Keith's so-called cha-ching sesame-crusted tuna tower, a teetering stack that looked ready to topple. Ramsay lifted the dome and quipped,
So who's responsible for the Leaning Tower of Pisa? That's mine, chef.
Keith explained cha-ching meant slammin', like money in his slang, which earned him a baffled stare. Ramsay pointed out the plate looked like it could feed 6 people, then asked for Keith's baseball cap and plopped most of the dish into it. Next, Rachel swaggered up with a truly weird idea.
It's butterflied shrimp and chocolate sauce.
Oh, fucking hell. Get me back to London.
The self-described proud redneck was disappointed that Ramsay didn't like the silly chocolate sauce that drowned the dish, because the shrimp was actually cooked pretty well. His face said it all. Then came Polly, a tough mom of 6 who boasted she could handle Hell's Kitchen after raising a half a dozen boys. Unfortunately, her cooking didn't back that up. Polly presented an undone focaccia bread with garlic oil, but it was basically raw dough.
Oh my God. Right now, I'd rather eat poodle shit than put that in my mouth.
He flat out refused to swallow a single bite, pushing it away in disgust. She was the first chef to be eliminated, so she didn't do a great job of turning her luck around. Maribel's Argentine plantain soup didn't go much better. Chef Ramsay did at least sample it, but spat it out straight again.
It's garlicky, it's hot, and it looks like baby vomit.
Surely things couldn't get worse, right? Wrong. Up next was Tom, a New Yorker who was sweating heavily as he presented his shrimp scampi with a cooked Caesar salad. Ramsay's jaw dropped.
First time in my entire life I've been served a cooked Caesar salad.
I understand that, Chef.
Sounds disgusting. Let's move.
Ramsay peeled the warm, wilted lettuce off the plate and plopped it into Tom's bare hands before tasting the shrimp, and promptly spat them out. Gordon didn't declare an official winner in the challenge. Instead, he focused on the negatives, telling the group that he was concerned and needed them to step up their game. Once again, in Season 3, the Signature Dish Challenge was an individual competition between the 12 competitors before Ramsay split the men and women into teams. Brash New Yorker Vinny went first with a chorizo-encrusted pink snapper. Ramsay couldn't even find the fish under all the garnish. When Vinny pointed it out, Gordon took one bite and winced. It was overloaded with heat. He shook his head, calling it a disappointment. Vinny answered back that it tasted fine to him.
Now you want to fucking argue. Back in line.
Chef. I think he looked at me and said that this guy is really confident, and I think that intimidated him.
What a fucking jerk.
That shut Vinny up real quick. Next, Joanna tried to flirt her way to a win. Plus, she'd got creative. To impress Gordon, she served a champagne raspberry Bellini alongside her Parmesan-crusted chicken and whole wheat spaghetti. Ramsay had no interest in the drink and handed it right back to her before sampling her dish.
Salty, salty, dry. Take your drink back, thank you.
Maybe he just doesn't drink on the job. As one of the most experienced chefs, Rock made a great first impression with his pan-seared scallops and potato gnocchi. Ramsay was impressed that he'd got in time to make gnocchi. But then Rock admitted his secret time-saving sin.
You served me frozen gnocchi.
This was the first ever use of a pre-made ingredient in a signature dish. And winner-to-be Rock knew immediately that he'd made a big mistake. One cutting critique came courtesy of contestant Eddie instead of Gordon. Ramsay asked Eddie to try Brad's scallop terrine with vanilla cream and give his best opinion.
I think it's a nice dish, but the vanilla sort of ruins it for me.
That's the most sensible thing I've heard all day.
By this point, Ramsay had slogged through 7 subpar dishes, and he bluntly told the group it was not good so far. When Jen stepped up, she visibly shook with nerves. She presented a vanilla crepe with caramelized peaches. Ramsay poked the thick pancake before trying it.
Fuck me. There's so much alcohol in there. What did you put in there?
Peach schnapps.
How much did you put in there?
Not a lot.
Not a lot. I do feel drunk.
Jen managed to get her nerves under control in later rounds and came in 3rd overall. In the end, Ramsay lined them up and bluntly stated that they needed to do better. Season 4 featured 15 chefs competing individually, and was the first time that Chef Ramsay actually vomited during a signature tasting.
That must be one of the worst combinations I've ever tasted in 21 years of cooking.
More on that culinary crime scene in a moment. First, Gordon had to deal with Craig, who he couldn't help but notice was wearing an oversized chef's hat. Craig explained that as a 5'5" man, it made him have a bigger presence in the kitchen. But Ramsay suggested he had small man syndrome in other areas. Either way, he was unimpressed.
You come down to my kitchen again with a ridiculous hat on like that, I'll stick it in your arse sideways.
His mood wasn't improved by Craig's dish, jerk Chilean sea bass over rum raisin risotto, which he felt was far too sweet.
That is a pile of shit. Take your hat and fuck off.
A smiling Jen admitted that in her current role, she was mainly in charge of fruit carving, but was excited to offer up a Dungeness crab and corn risotto with grilled lobster tail. Unfortunately, she had undercooked the rice.
Oh no. Damn.
The rice is raw.
Jen stomped off, calling Ramsay a butthead for spitting out her food. The most infamous dish of season 4, and maybe of all time, was Matt's so-called exotic tartare. Matt piled a plate with raw venison, raw scallops, a raw quail egg, caviar, lime zest, olive oil, and, wait for it, grated white chocolate on top. Ramsay's jaw literally hung open as Matt listed ingredients, but he went ahead and took a bite. Big mistake. Within seconds, Ramsay's face turned green. Ramsay revealed he'd never eaten such a horrible combination of ingredients in one dish, and he could only imagine where Matt might have gotten the idea from.
Do you smoke?
Cigarettes?
No.
Matt's vile tartare became legendary, earning him an epic fail label, and the vomit scene is now cemented in reality TV history. Near the end, Petroza presented a Cornish hen, baked inside a whole pumpkin. Ramsay picked up handfuls of the soggy potatoes on the side, but they were dripping in grease, and Gordon couldn't figure out how to carve into the pumpkin. When he finally sampled the hen, it was dry, and the pumpkin was bland.
You had more chance sticking a candle in there, making me happy. For Halloween, you were sticking a hen in there. Fuck off.
Fed up, he told Petroza he'd like to stick his head inside the pumpkin for wasting his time. Season 4 taught contestants a hard lesson. Don't get too creative. And it taught Chef Ramsay that just when you think you've tasted the worst thing ever, someone will make something even more disgusting. It didn't take long for that to happen. Season 5 delivered one dish so awful that Ramsay proclaimed it the worst dish he had ever tasted in his life, and actually threatened elimination on the spot for the first time in Hell's Kitchen history. It was the final season of the all-individual era, with 16 chefs cooking solo. After a couple of reasonable dishes, Ramsay lifted the dome on Robert's potato and white truffle-wrapped Chilean sea bass.
Holy fuck. Whose is the camel hoof?
Ramsay thought the presentation was terrible, and the watery sauce was disgusting. Overall, he told Robert the dish was clumsy, just like the chef who made it. Corporate buffet chef Lacey presented a chicken breast with blackberry sauce. Ramsay lifted a forkful and immediately grimaced before spitting it out.
That's definitely corporate. You serve, they eat.
Yes, sir.
Straight after, they vomit.
Danny confidently put forward his grilled mahi-mahi with bananas and rum sauce. Ramsay was taken aback.
So the idea came from where?
I just pulled it out of my ass, sir.
Put it back in there because it sucks.
When he tasted Danny's mahi gone bananas, he didn't have anything nicer to say.
It looks like you've gone slightly bananas. It's hideous. Back in line.
Ramsay had to rapid-fire roast several more mini disasters on a plate before he came to the next seriously unappetizing signature dish. The creator, culinary school instructor Colleen, didn't like Ramsay's blunt opinions.
I teach manners too, chef.
Okay, please. Miss Manners, fuck off, back in line.
What did he say to cause such upset? Well, the first impressions of the dish weren't great.
Who's cooked the diapers?
No diapers, sir. That's smoked chicken enchiladas with poblano cream sauce.
After tasting it and spitting it out, Gordon told her he needed saran wrap around his underwear after tasting her food. So yeah, he was pretty brutal. Finally came Seth, who had been fanboying over Ramsay throughout his 15-year career as a chef. he unveiled a cinnamon-crusted rack of lamb with eggplant ratatouille, which he had drizzled with honey, making it candy sweet. Ramsay chewed, stopped, and spat it out. Seth inappropriately giggled, perhaps out of nerves, but Ramsay saw it as not taking the moment seriously, and he threatened to boot Seth on the spot.
You can make history on being the fastest exit in Hell's Kitchen. And I'm fucking serious, you know that? That's the worst dish I've ever tasted. 15 years to cook that shit.
Seth holds the dubious honor of being the first contestant ever threatened with elimination during the Signature Dish Challenge. Season 6 introduced a major format change. The Signature Dish became a team challenge for the first time. The 16 chefs were split into blue, men, versus red, women teams from the start, presenting their dishes in head-to-head rounds to win a point for their team. In the first round, Susan versus Dave resulted in a double failure. Neither scored a point. Ramsay was so underwhelmed that he gave 0 to both, saying both dishes were too mediocre to pick a winner.
Now, madam, it's crunchy, it's bright white in the center. I'm telling you, that is undercooked.
I definitely don't believe so at all.
Dave's ostrich was delicious, but as for the vegetables...
Why are these fucking Brussels sprouts undercooked?
My bad.
Joseph had the same problem. Though his roasted veal chop was good, his sprouts were crunchy.
A little taste of me, please?
Absolutely. You got a fork? I ain't no animal.
Joseph, who left the show 2 weeks later after seeming to threaten Chef Ramsay during elimination, refused to eat the vegetables with his hands, and lost the point for his team. Louis, a 48-year-old diner chef, lost his round with sausage gravy over biscuits. Ramsay spat it out, causing Louis to question what was wrong with his dish.
What's wrong with it? It tastes like gunk.
Louis was insulted, but his week was about to get even worse. Ramsay eliminated him on the spot during the first service. When Amanda announced she had made margarita French toast with tequila lime butter, Chef Ramsay was speechless for all the wrong reasons.
I thought you were joking. You're cooking me a slice of fucking toast dipped in egg.
Yes, chef.
With
Tequila.
To get me drunk?
The tequila didn't work because he asked her what she had done with 42 of her prep time minutes, and told her the lack of effort was shocking. Melinda served poached lobster and savory portobello mushrooms, but when she removed the dome, there was an obvious problem.
Where's the fucking tail?
During the cooking process, I had some challenges.
In the end, Season 6's blue team narrowly beat the Reds 3-2. The men were rewarded with a fancy dinner, while the ladies suffered cleaning duty in bologna sandwiches. Season 7 continued the red versus blue head-to-head format. The prize was becoming head chef at the new Savoy Grill in London. Jamie's creamy chicken Kiev came with an unexpected extra ingredient. Chef Ramsay spotted it immediately.
That is the toothpick. No. Please don't eat that.
After that discovery, Gordon refused to even try her food. This season's eventual winner, Holly, made a terrible first impression with her signature dish. Holly, a passionate personal chef, presented a halibut wrapped in a banana leaf. Ramsay unwrapped it and took a bite of the fish, but didn't swallow.
I messed it up a bit.
You messed it up a bit?
Yes, I did.
Being polite. Holly, that was a disaster.
Holly hadn't even seemed clear on where the idea for the dish came from.
It's like a classic Indian dish.
I've been to India. I haven't seen food like that.
It's Northern Indian.
Other flops included Salvatore's, bucatini, parmigiana. Ramsay was impressed that he had whipped up fresh pasta in such a short time, forcing Salvatore to confess.
That didn't make, chef.
An Italian that doesn't make his own pasta? From Naples?
As if that wasn't bad enough, Salvatore undercooked the bucatini, leading Gordon to call his signature dish embarrassing. Nilka's sweet and spicy chicken wings were a little too spicy for Chef Ramsay's liking.
Jesus shit. That's gonna blow your fucking asshole out, that. Burn my mouth.
How much Tabasco do you put there?
Half a bottle.
Half a bottle of Tabasco.
Despite these disasters, the women ultimately won the challenge thanks to a few high scorers. But Holly's wrapped halibut fiasco became infamous among fans, despite her redemption arc to the title. Season 7 proved that even potential winners aren't immune from presenting dud signature dishes. It's how you bounce back that matters. Season 8's Signature Dish Challenge gave us perhaps the most meme-worthy signature dish challenge ever. The most infamous creation was Antonia's Mardi Gras Gumbo. The smell hit Ramsay first, a swampy, fishy odor. When he tasted the gumbo, he immediately went pale before throwing up into the trash. Antonia apologized if her dish wasn't up to par. Ramsay felt it was a little worse than that.
Fucking hell.
God.
Are you crazy? Have you tasted that?
No, I didn't get a chance to taste it, Chef.
And as for the presentation, he didn't love the look of the brown, sludgy soup either.
Oh, God. And does it normally look like a plate of liquid shit?
No.
Antonia suggested that he just throw the dish away, but Gordon had a better idea. He decided to share the pain with the other chefs, who each took a spoonful and were just as disgusted by it.
It was completely repulsive. I would have rather had a cat shit in my mouth than have eaten that any further.
The rest of the signature dishes were a mix of average and unmemorable creations, until it was time for Raj. The 49-year-old executive chef presented a seafood and vegetable pancake. On the plate was a lumpy beige disc with bits of shrimp and veg protruding. It looked like an omelet gone wrong. Ramsay held up the plate and oil poured onto the table.
Oh, just going for a piss? A pancake that pisses.
Ramsay tasted a bite and actually liked the seafood flavor, but the presentation and grease were so appalling, he lost his round, creating a tiebreaker. Gordon announced that the worst dish would decide the losing team, because a kitchen is only as good as its weakest link. Instantly, everyone knew Antonia. Ramsay confirmed.
There's one dish that's been the biggest insult, because it's actually made me physically ill. And that's you, Antonia.
With Ramsay vomiting, all contestants forced to taste disgusting gloop, and Rob's unforgettable line about preferring cat feces. Antonia's signature dish gave us top-tier Hell's Kitchen moments that fans still quote today. Season 9 pulled a cruel fake-out, with contestants expecting a live audience, only to find an empty theater. But the real disappointments came during cooking. Carrie was first up and served chicken fried ribeye with mashed potatoes. She shared her secret to the perfect mash with Chef Ramsay. She added a spoonful of sugar.
Chef Ramsay is gonna love it because it's freaking delicious. It's like an orgasm in your mouth. Come on. Oh.
Gordon won't be stealing that trick. He thought it was disgusting and spat it out. After a few good dishes in a row, it was time for Jonathan's punch-drunk chicken. Ramsay immediately spotted that it was topped with canned pineapple.
Why you come in here and serve me a canned fucking pineapple? You can fuck off now. Serious? I'll pay for the ticket.
Jonathan explained that he hadn't used fresh fruit because of the limited time he was given.
Limited time? You're so full of shit, even your eyes are brown.
Gordon called the dish an absolute mess and refused to even taste it. Oops. Krupa's traditional stuffed naan bread, drenched in mint sauce, earned the cruel pun.
My dear Cooper, yeah, that is crapper.
Wow.
He thought of me as a joke.
No, it's like you've got 4 bits of arsewipe on a plate, splat.
You're right.
Poor Krupa broke down into tears. Steven's seared scallops over mushroom risotto didn't appeal to Chef Ramsay either.
Honestly, it's like toenails from a fucking dinosaur. Look at them.
It's got good flavor.
Gordon disagreed. The signature dishes in Season 9 were generally of such high standard that these mini disasters created an even worse first impression of the chefs who produced them. After a fake head-shaving prank, Season 10 chefs delivered some top-quality creations, and a couple of legendary disasters. Dawn's southwestern saltimbocca was so overloaded with cumin that Ramsay coughed uncontrollably. When it was Tiffany's turn, she proudly presented her dish.
I have a lamb schnitzel with a rosemary and maple infused lamb gloss.
Just touch the top of it. It's like a wet diaper.
After that disgusting dish, Gordon was faced with Guy's striped bass, which he had bizarrely paired with chocolate miso sauce. He warned Ramsay that the sauce had burned, he wouldn't serve it, and he'd prefer Ramsay not taste it. Ramsay did anyway.
It tastes like a fucking fish sundae.
After a few average and a couple of pretty good dishes, it was 22-year-old executive chef Tavon's turn to offer up his shrimp, scallops, and crab over fettuccine. Gordon could taste vinegar, though Tavon insisted it was only a light drizzle. Gordon struggled to find the right words to describe it.
I mean, it's hideous. I mean, it's rank. I mean, it really is bad. I mean, really bad.
Tavon was eliminated later that week, so Chef Ramsay didn't have to suffer through any more of his acidic creations. As the seasons went on and the chefs entering Hell's Kitchen got more and more accomplished, the standard of signature dishes continued to rise. There were still a few disasters for us to enjoy, though. The season 11 chefs faced a new challenge, presenting their dishes to Las Vegas in front of an audience of 2,500 people. The contestants nervously took to the stage to face their moment of truth, and the first few were given very average feedback. When Danielle overcooked her Parmesan-encrusted chicken breast, Gordon reminded her that what happened in Vegas stayed in Vegas.
And what happened in that kitchen, quite honestly, should have stayed in that kitchen. I'm unimpressed.
Next up were Nedra and Sebastian. After accidentally trying to leave the stage, the pair decided to say a silent prayer before their turn.
What did you say in the prayer?
Lord, please don't let Chef bust my balls.
It seemed to work for Nedra, who had cooked her lamb and double grilled potatoes perfectly. When it came to Sebastian, though, it didn't seem to help his shrimp and salmon corn dogs. Ramsay couldn't find the shrimp and asked Nedra to have a taste. She took a bite and immediately spat it out.
You got one thing right before you presented that dish. You tried to bolt out the back door.
Susan took her turn at the podium, and she instantly made Chef Ramsay pretty mad.
Are you seriously trying to kill me? Do you want to go home right now? You can fuck off now.
It's just as well she didn't, because Susan went on to make it right through to the final 3 that year. While her couscous was overcooked and mushy, it was her lamb that had caused Gordon's anger.
How many fingers have I got up?
5.
So you're not blind. Because I can see from here that your lamb is absolutely fucking raw.
Chef Ramsay also didn't like the look of Dan's Eggs Benedict.
It's fitting that you made this in Vegas, because whoever eats that is sure to get the craps, let me tell you.
Telling Dan that his inspiration, Julia Child, would be turning in her grave, he still wasn't finished with his critique.
Seriously? Did you throw up on that plate?
Moving back to Los Angeles with a live audience of diners, Season 12 saw a run of great signature dishes to kick off the competition. Then it came to Joy's turn, and she proudly showed off her chilled corn soup. Unfortunately, Gordon wasn't impressed.
It's like runny, cold, scrambled eggs with someone's vomit at the bottom.
Mike's use of store-bought tortellini with a side of canned tomatoes led to his dish being flung in the trash without Chef Ramsay even tasting it. Mike protested that even though it was all pre-packaged, it wasn't dog food, and muttered to himself as he stepped back into line. Unfortunately for him, Gordon overheard and called him back to the front, where he wisely decided not to repeat his complaints.
You got anything to say to me? Say it to my face, not my back. You got it. And fuck off.
Yeah. Sandra didn't do much better with her pan-seared cod.
If I ate that, it would back me up like an LA fucking freeway.
And French-trained executive chef Gabriel's stuffed chicken breast didn't raise a smile either.
I lived in France for 3 years, and I never, ever saw shit like this in France, let me tell you.
Season 13's contestants were told they were attending a private screening, but were actually surprised with a live signature dish challenge in front of an audience. As usual, the chefs were given 45 minutes to serve a dish that showed off their skills. But JP finished his baked haddock with fingerling potatoes 20 minutes early. And Chef Ramsay pointed out that it wasn't good for the dish to be left sitting on the pass.
I'll keep it hot. You'll keep it hot? That means you'll overcook it.
I can redo it again real quick.
JP recooked his signature dish, but Chef Ramsay warned him that he was expecting it to be amazing. It wasn't.
I'm struggling whether to let you come to Hell's Kitchen or just send you home. You plate early, overcook the fish second time round, and then send me undercooked potatoes. You're the only one tonight that actually cooked their dish twice.
Gordon allowed him to stay, but awarded him just 1 point using the new official 1-to-5 scoring system, and JP left the competition after the first service. Frank's filet mignon came with a side of bone marrow that was still in the bone. Ramsay didn't love the presentation.
Frank, where's the dog? Let's take out the bone marrow. Now it looks like the dog shat on my plate.
Unfortunately, it tasted terrible too, and also scored just 1 point. Latasha, the eventual winner, chose to serve Gordon a slice of grilled hickory-rubbed watermelon that received another single point.
Seriously? You had 45 minutes to make me anything, and you grilled me a slice of fucking melon?
Yes, sir.
Gordon announced it was underwhelming and quickly moved on, despite Janai's lobster-stuffed lamb making Ramsay physically recoil.
This dish is a horror show. Only a 1.
The women won the signature dish challenge 24-23 and celebrated over dinner at the Bel Air Hotel. Season 14's contestants started out strong, with the first few dishes achieving an average of 4 out of 5. Soon it was time for Mika to present her shrimp cake with asparagus and peach salsa, and she hoped to continue the positive trend.
Wow, it isn't half bad. It's all bad.
Just 1 point for disappointed Mika. Krissa came up with a truly original dish when she crusted chicken in ginger snap cookies. She explained that she found inspiration in the cookie aisle of the supermarket.
I'm glad you were inspired in the cookery aisle, not the fucking pet food aisle.
Ramsay found the recipe funny until he tasted it and had to spit it into a napkin. He awarded Krissa another single point. The final contestant to be judged was Monique, who needed to score a perfect 5 to lead the women's team to victory. Unfortunately, her dish, Mo's pasta, caught Gordon's attention for the wrong reasons. Monique didn't think it was necessary to make her pasta sauce from scratch, so she took a shortcut in the kitchen.
I don't think there's anything wrong with canned sauce, unless you're from fucking Italy.
She was upfront about her sauce, and Gordon was equally honest with his opinion.
Tell me about the marinara sauce. I want to know how you made it.
It's just from a jar.
When he refused to eat the dish, Monique explained she would have made the sauce if he had asked her to, leaving him speechless, other than to award her just 1 point. In season 15, Chef Ramsay flew all the contestants to Las Vegas to cook in the actual prize restaurant. Having cooked for first-class passengers at LAX, Vanessa was hoping for a 5-star review from Chef Ramsay, but her eggplant involtini failed to impress.
You may cook for first class. I wouldn't serve that to coach class. 1 out of 5, not good.
Mies served up a dry pork loin with asparagus and sweet potato.
Mies, it's a big mess. I'm struggling for a 1.
Californian line cook Mark was ready to face Gordon's judgment, and he didn't waste any time giving it.
Black mussels with chorizo and tomato broth.
Oh dear, they are cooked to fuck.
That was another 1 point for Mark, who went home that week. Culinary manager Kevin presented his chicken Caesar piadina. Gordon stood with his head in his hands, and he explained why chefs never put a crisp salad on top of a hot pizza. Things went from bad to worse as he found out the ingredients Kevin had used to create his dish.
Store-bought Caesar salad dressing. Let me ask you something. Do you want to go home?
Kevin persuaded Gordon to let him stay, but he got just 1 point and was ejected during dinner service in week 5. Alan's pan-seared maple glazed salmon was swimming in sticky sweetness. He admitted that he'd never heard of anyone else combining maple syrup and risotto. Gordon gave it 1 point as he didn't enjoy the unusual combination, though the audience did.
Yeah, it's okay for you to laugh. You don't have to eat this shit.
After Ramsay crashed through a wall in a monster truck, Season 16's real disasters started with Kimberly's basic pasta. Chef Ramsay was interested to hear about her Latin-infused sushi food truck and was expecting a Japanese treat. Instead, Kimberly served up peppadew pasta with clams and tomato sauce.
Homemade pasta?
No, unfortunately that.
Obviously fresh clams.
I used 1 can of canned clams.
Thank goodness he didn't ask about the tomatoes, calling the dish a mess. Gordon gave it a single point. Matt cooked up an experimental dove breast bolognese. He confirmed that yes, he meant a pigeon, and admitted it was his first time he tried cooking it.
Never even made it before, but...
So, let's get this right. I'm your guinea pig.
What could possibly go wrong? Well, he could score 1 point, which he did. And so did Gennaro, who presented a badly butchered duck breast.
Gennaro, that completely ducked up this dish. 1 out of 5.
Single mother and university chef Jessica had high hopes for a risotto, but she was lucky to score anything at all.
Oh God.
And I'm gonna struggle to give this a 1 out of 5.
The women still managed to win the challenge and were treated to a delicious sushi dinner with a view, while the men were left to set up the dining room ready for service. The All-Stars season brought back veterans and added a twist to the signature dish challenge. Instead of the ingredients they had requested, the chefs were forced to face off against another chef using ingredients selected by Chef Ramsay. Gordon explained that the scoring would be on a 1 to 5 scale, and was clear that his expectations of these experienced chefs were higher than ever.
Well, trust me, anyone gets 1, I don't know why you're here.
Most of the returning chefs scored 4s and 5s, leaving Gordon impressed. But there were a couple of disappointments too. Ben served up roasted chicken with coconut rice.
I've never seen a chicken breast stuffed with fucking rice. What the fuck? You got bland on bland. It's a 2 out of 5, Ben.
It wasn't a good start, and he left the competition days later. Josh also had problems with his dish, which he had overcooked.
Filet cooked to hell. That's a 2 out of 5, Josh.
Still, no one had received the dreaded 1 point, and as the final dish of the night, Robin hoped to continue that trend with her crispy salmon over cauliflower puree. It hadn't started well. During the 45-minute prep time, Robin fired her fish way too early.
Robin's cooking a salmon, half an hour to go. How long does it take to cook a piece of salmon?
4 minutes.
Surely her second attempt would be better. It wasn't. Robin managed to deliver the worst dish of the night, an overcooked, over-seasoned salmon.
1 out of 5. It was disgusting.
For an all-star, it was a humbling reminder that anyone can crash and burn. But she bounced back strong and went on to gain her black jacket before finishing in 5th place. Season 18 saw veteran Hell's Kitchen chefs take on rookies. And once again, the first challenge had a twist. Instead of their own recipes, the veterans were asked to select one of the rookies' signature dishes and use their ingredients to create a competing dish. Rookie Kane went up against veteran Kevin with her fish stew and plantain. Gordon didn't love the presentation.
Am I the only one in the room here that thinks that visually looks like some camel's turd?
Fuck.
Luckily, it tasted better than it looked, and she was pleased to get 3 points. Newcomer Scott received equally brutal feedback over his fish dish.
Scott, fish is overcooked. The good news is, Scott, your ration's closed now. No one's eating this shit. 2 out of 5.
Veteran Jen chose rookie Mia's pork tenderloin concept. Mia scored a perfect 5, but Jen didn't do quite so well.
It gets a little dry, chef.
A little dry. Cracks at the end. Jen, that's a 2 out of 5.
A 2.
2.
The talented rookies won the challenge, leaving the veterans to realize that experience isn't everything in Hell's Kitchen. Season 19 took place in Las Vegas, and once again, Chef Ramsay decided to mix things up for the signature dish challenge. After asking each chef what they planned to make for him, Gordon revealed that they wouldn't be making the dish they had practiced. Instead, they would be going head-to-head using ingredients selected by an oversized slot machine. The chefs headed to the kitchen for their 45 minutes of prep time, but with 20 minutes to go, Gordon called Kenneth over.
Have you finished?
Yes, chef.
It's not a race.
Done.
But you have.
I'm confident. Yes, sir.
You're confident?
Yes, sir.
After he finished so early, Chef Ramsay told Kenneth that his pan-seared chicken with eggplant, andouille sausage, and orzo had better be something special. But among some impressive and high-scoring dishes from his competitors, Gordon's feedback for the elementary school cook wasn't what he had hoped for.
Right now, looking at this chicken, I'm feeling bad for those kids in Philly. Are they still talking to you?
Yes, chef.
Oh dear. Kenneth, what happened there? You fucked it. Scorched it.
Kenneth received 1 point and was the first to be eliminated from the competition, but not before he'd been given a bit of constructive feedback from his competition about his timings.
If there was one tip you'd give Kenneth on how to cook chicken beautifully, what would it be?
Just, take your time. Make love to your food.
Make love to it, don't fuck it.
Yes, sir.
Season 20 featured the Young Guns, 18 chefs aged 24 or younger. The format went back to a traditional signature dish challenge, allowing the contestants to present their carefully selected and well-practiced recipes. Sadly, a few of them still failed to impress. Matthew's cioppino was well presented, but the lack of finesse showed the youngsters' inexperience.
I know you're now legal to drink, but were you actually drunk when you put this dish together?
No, sir.
What had he done wrong? Well, it was a real rookie mistake.
So visually it looks classic. I'm a big lover of shrimp,
Okay.
but I'm not very good at eating shrimp and the shit sack.
He got 2 points for his seafood, and Kevin didn't do any better. As he fought for the position of head chef at the new Gordon Ramsay steak restaurant, he disappointed the chef with his ribeye, which didn't look quite right to Gordon.
What happened to it?
I didn't think you would like a big fat ribeye on your plate.
You didn't even fucking ask me.
Vegetarian Josie also got a 2 for her herbal tonic noodle soup, which was far too hot for Chef Ramsay's taste.
And is it supposed to be that hot?
Yeah, the Thai chilies here are really fresh.
No, but taste that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And much to Peyton's disappointment, his pork chop with parsnip mash didn't get a rave review either.
It's bland.
I kind of feel like a dog just shitting on the floor, and the owner just coming over and beat me with a newspaper.
So that's a 2.
Jay's ambitious crawfish étouffée was always going to be a risk, as it needed a flavorsome roux made in just 45 minutes.
The spice is raw, and the flour's raw. It's not a roux, it's ruined. Damn. I'm gonna give that a 2.
While he was aiming for the stars, Jay's signature dish brought him crashing back down to earth. Season 21 saw the battle of the ages. 9 40-something chefs went up against 9 20-somethings. Nicole, a former Playboy Mansion chef, wanted to keep things simple with her tagliatelle dish. Unfortunately, she kept things a bit too simple and made the classic mistake of using boxed pasta, which Chef Ramsay spotted immediately. But in the 45 minutes she was allowed, she explained that at least she had time to make the sauce.
But let's be honest with each other, because you didn't really make the sauce. I saw a tin of canned tomatoes in there.
Okay, yes.
The other chefs correctly predicted Chef Ramsay's score. Nicole received just 1 out of 5. Sommer bragged that her nickname in the kitchen was VIP because she treated every ticket that she worked on as if it was for a star guest. That led her stewed salmon with sugar-laden coconut rice to prompt a serious burn.
It's not VIP, it feels like general admission.
Sommer was lacking star power as he awarded her another 1 out of 5. In Season 22, standards were once again high from the very beginning. One notable disaster was Demir's grilled lobster with coconut curry cream linguine. After 21 seasons of watching Chef Ramsay's reaction to boxed pasta, he wouldn't make that obvious mistake, would he? Yes, he would, and his competition agreed with Gordon that he didn't even cook it well.
You're missing salt.
He's not only missing salt, he's fucking allergic to salt.
The rest of the dish wasn't any better.
I wish it had something. Yeah. No, I'm not fucking around because the lobsters just taste bland.
Gordon gave his dish 1 out of 5, leaving Damir regretting his time-saving scheme. Season 22 also gave us professional Quidditch player Tad's homemade biscuits with sausage gravy and a strawberry lemon jam.
Does that look appetizing?
No shit.
Oh my god! It looks like vomit.
Ramsay refused to taste more after 1 bite, and felt he was being generous, giving Tad 1 point. By the time Hell's Kitchen hosted its last signature dish challenge in Season 23, standards were so high among the competitors that 4- and 5-point scores were flying, and Gordon even wished he could award 6 points to one dish. Among the head chefs, there was no disasters, and no one scored lower than a 3. Here's hoping that future seasons see a return of the overconfidence, bizarre flavor combinations, and fundamental cooking failures that made the Signature Dish Challenge a fan favorite.